Guys, I finally did it. I finally beat Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Let's talk about it. What is up, you guys? Welcome to the collective. My name is Furman, and in this video we are going to be talking about Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, a masterpiece, or maybe just a game that's a little bit dated. But before we get into that, don't forget to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel for more awesome content just like this. Alright guys, let's not waste any more time. Let's just get into it. So, I have been playing Chain of Memories for about a month now, and this game took me way too long. Like, I put in about 45 hours into it. Like, I'm going to show you guys the save timestamps and all that stuff, so you guys can truly see how long this thing took me. And I'm just talking about one playthrough. I'm talking about the Sora version of Chain of Memories. So, I jotted down a couple notes. I got some notes here, so we're going to be talking about this thing. Before I even get any hate, because, oh my goodness, sometimes Kingdom Hearts fans can be kind of sensitive. Yep! I absolutely enjoyed the game. It was a lot of fun, and the majority of it was really enjoyable, okay? I still like that game. I still enjoyed it. There. So, there might be some criticism here, but this is all valid criticism, okay? This is just stuff that drove me crazy, things that I enjoyed about it. That's what a review is all about. Alright, so I'm going to be going in order, okay? In order of the way I wrote down the notes. Something would happen in the game, and I would jot down some notes. This is basically it. Actually, before we get into that, I feel like I should share a little bit about the game. Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. If you have not played this, this is the story. The story basically continues right after Kingdom Hearts 1, where Sora, Goofy, and Donald basically, wrap up the game, and they're just kind of wandering in a grass field for no reason. Then they get a letter from Mickey, so they start running down the path, and then they find themselves in front of a castle. Castle Oblivion, if you may. And that's where the game starts. They get into this castle, and the higher the floor they get in this castle, the more their memories start going away, the more they start forgetting things. So that's the gist of the game. We come to find out that Organization 13 is behind this thing, and they basically commissioned somebody's nobody, Naminé, to do the memory erasure for the squad, and mostly for Sora. They're doing this thing so that they can use him, because they want to take down, it's like a rogue group of people. They want to take down Organization 13 and do what they want to do. So they thought it'd be a great idea to recruit, the Keyblade wielder, Sora. Alright, I'm not saying anything else about that. And, honestly, if you think that's a spoiler, the game is like 20 years old, okay? Relax. It's not that serious. Alright, so the first thing that drove me crazy when it comes to this game is the Jafar boss fight, okay? The game starts off pretty easy, where you can basically mash, you can use cards, and you can use slates, more on that later, but you can use slates to fight battles, and you use your magic and your physical attacks and healing and all that. It's all card based, okay? So you use cards, and when I say slates, you're able to stack up to 3 cards, and they do like a combo, or they'll do an attack, a magic move. It is really, really cool and super unique. Like, this battle style is honestly super amazing, and it is really unfortunate that there's not that many games that utilize like this kind of card-based system that Kingdom Hearts created for this one game. So yeah, it's really cool. You get to do a lot of really cool moves and stuff like that. You get special abilities whenever you use slays, and this is where one of the biggest problems and the biggest flaw when it comes to this game starts. So most of the fights up until Jafar are pretty easy. You can just basically mash, you can attack, you can use slays, and you can just repeatedly do it, and it gets everyone, because there's nobody that is unreachable up until that point. Then you get to the Jafar stage, or boss fights, and that's when things get complicated. So you can't mash anymore. You have to actually be extremely creative, and you have to think your way through, which isn't a problem. But the only problem with that is, there's a lot of pressure. The boss fight is pressure. It's literally pressure. And also, you kind of have to navigate through this boss battle while he's moving around. I believe you're supposed to be attacking the bird. I don't remember the bird's name right now, but it doesn't matter. He's holding the lamp. You have to attack the lamp to hurt Jafar, and it is annoying because the platforms keep moving. They keep going up and down, so it just adds a level of difficulty, and it is just extremely frustrating. It's just something that didn't need to be a part of the game. And this gets progressively worse, but it's never as bad as the Jafar fight, because that one it is just unfair. It's unfair how annoying it is, because he's flying away from you, and sometimes you can't attack him, so he'll attack you, and he's hurting you, but you're trying to catch up to Iago, that's his name. You're trying to catch up to him, and right when you catch up to him, the platform drops down, so you can't attack him, and then you keep getting attacked. It is a cluster, okay? It is an absolute nightmare. But yeah, luckily, we do get lucky, and that doesn't happen too often. But there are some fights and some boss fights that are kind of like that, where they're basically nightmare fuel, and it's just, yeah, it gets crazy. Number 2 of the list of annoying things, okay? Sometimes you'll be in the overworld, you'll be traversing the level, and the game incentivizes you to attack random items that are there with your Keyblade, which is good. So that's actually how you find items. You find the money, which is moogle points. You basically attack like bushes or crates or things like that. Really cool idea. However, this can be super annoying because of the fact that, let's say you smack a bush with your Keyblade and out pops a card. You start chasing the card, and then a Heartless comes out of nowhere, and he's in your line of path, so you run into him. You just lost that card. You just lost those moogle points. And sometimes it happens, and it's heartbreaking because you get a really good card, and you're like, oh my god, I need this, but then you have to run away from the Heartless that either just popped up in front of you or just now started to chase you. It's a nightmare. These kind of things are the type of things that just annoy me, and it is just frustrating. I do not like it at all. Ugh. I wish that if you ran into a Heartless, it would just auto grab for you. That way you wouldn't miss out on that item or moogle points. So yeah. And then on top of that, this is the same thing when it comes to the fights. The battles, when you're fighting in there, every time you kill a Heartless, the Heartless drops experience points and sometimes cards and stuff like that. If you don't catch them in time, they disappear. That is ridiculous. Imagine having to stop every single time. You kill a Heartless and you have to stop so that you can run after it and grab all the experience before it disappears. That is just crazy annoying. And it's not like Kingdom Hearts 1 or Kingdom Hearts 2 or 3 where you can get the magnet thing or whatever, so it makes it so that you can pull items closer to you faster or longer distance. It does have something like that, but it's not like Kingdom Hearts 1 or 2 is, where you can attract a lot of items and orbs from really far away. You really don't have to get too close to it. So super lame, super annoying. Number 3, the lock-on is your biggest enemy. You guys remember how I was telling you in the overworld, when you're moving around and you're collecting items and doing things like that, there is a lock-on reticle that goes on whatever, it'll go on the grass, it'll go on the little boxes. It basically auto targets for you, so that all you have to do is just press the X button and it'll automatically attack certain item. And that's not that big of an issue, but when you have a Heartless pop up and you're trying to attack the Heartless, and the item, the bucket or the barrel or the bush is still locked on for some reason, And this isn't a hard lock on too. This is a soft lock. So if you move away from it, it should be able to lock onto something else. It doesn't do that though. Sometimes it just does not do that, and it drives me insane. Like, it is like, oh my gosh, it is so annoying. So it can make, fighting those Heartless pretty tricky, because, you want to attack the Heartless so that they're like concussed when you enter the battle, or they take damage, so you get the advantage of the battle. So yeah, that can be kind of annoying. That can be kind of really annoying, actually. Number 4, Winnie the Pooh. We have another throwaway Winnie the Pooh level with really annoying stages. And, there's really not much to say about it. It's just super annoying. That's pretty much it. It's just really annoying. And I'd rather not have to deal with it. Yeah, that's it. Number 5, this one. When I tell you this one pissed me off, oh my goodness, I am not lying to you. Vexen. The first fight that you get when you fight Vexen is absolute anarchy. He's got a big shield, so he basically deflects your hits, so you have to hit him from the back. You can't hit him from the front, and that's the same thing when it comes to slates. If he deflects your first move in the slate, the whole slate is basically canceled. Really annoying. And just the way he moves around, like, it is just, it's a nightmare. He counters every hit that he deflects too. So this boss fight, I died like 20 times, I think. It was unbelievable, and I absolutely hated it. But I did get lucky, I got lucky and I beat him. And then you do have to fight him a second time, but by the second time you've gotten a better cards, and you've set your deck up way better. So, it's a lot easier. You got a lot more health, a lot easier. Still annoying though, still annoying. Number 6, this one is not really a complaint. It's not really that big of a deal, honestly. It's a complaint to me just because I would have liked to be able to do this. I don't know why. Like, I understand why the Game Boy Advance version, because it's limited hardware, limited memory, limited capacity. So yeah, but I don't understand why Rechain of Memory just doesn't allow you to do this, even if it's just cosmetic. I would have loved to be able to pick out my keyblades. Like every level you get the keyblade for that level, and the Rechain of Memories already has those assets. That game was built on the original Kingdom Hearts hardware and all that stuff. So like, I don't understand why they wouldn't at least allow you to do that. I know it's probably not going to do anything because it's cards, it's card based, so everything is like stats, and it all coincides to all of that. But I think it would have been really cool to have that little bit of cosmetic, that personalization to the game. I think it would have differentiated it more, and it would have made it more valuable than the Game Boy Advance version. But that's just me. The boss fights is number 7, but it's not really something that's annoying. It's actually something that I really, really enjoy about this game. The boss fights are heart pounding. Like, you gotta be locked in. You can't just go, this is not Kingdom Hearts 1. You can't just go around and just button mash and do whatever. You have to use actual strategy. And that's, I feel, where this game shines. There are, like I said, there's a couple bosses and certain fights that are just incredibly annoying. Like, I would have preferred to not have to deal with it. But I love the fact that this game adds so much strategy to the battle system. Like, you can't just go in there and just mash and just use whatever cards you want to use. Like, typically in most of the fights, what you end up doing is you end up just kind of, pressing on the Steam Deck, it's the Y button. So you end up mashing Y to use the slates, and you set them up and you use all the broken ones, because, there's a couple of them that are pretty broken. So you end up just doing that, and you can get through most of the fights like that. You don't have to do much of anything, no strategy, nothing. Just do it, mash, and get it done. But the boss fights are a little more complicated than that. You have to use actual strategy. So, I would have preferred a little bit more of that style of the game in the regular fights than in the boss, and then in just the boss fights. But it's not something that I need to grab a pitchfork and, you know, freak out about. You know, it's not that big of a deal. Like, I do like it, and I wish that they would come out with more games that had that battle system, because it is truly unique. And, you know, it was amazing back then, and even now, 22, 24 years later, it still holds up. This is still a great game. Like, I would absolutely recommend this to people. It's just an amazing game. Luckily, it comes in a bundle, and most of the time it's pretty cheap, so you get all of these awesome games that we're going to be talking about and that we've been talking about for the same price. Now, slates. I don't know if I'm saying that right, if it's slates or slates, but the slates are one of the best parts when it comes to the combat. It has some major drawbacks. You know, you're not ever going to get to the point where you're broken unless, you know, you use certain ones, but for the most part it is pretty balanced. I didn't really try to go in there and, you know, look up guides on how to make Sora broken in this game. I wanted to play the game as naturally as I could, so, you know, I didn't use all of the slates, but I forget the name of the slate. There's one that I did use, you know, like 2 or 3 times that is pretty broken. It's the one where you dash back and forth. It's like some type of blitz or something like that. I can't think of the name right now, but that one is really, really good. And the reason why, honestly, I think that one is the best one, because of the fact that when you land your first hit, your opponent can't hit you throughout the whole combo, and you hit him like 6 or 7 times. So that one is one of the best ones to have. Sonic Blade. It's called Sonic Blade. That's the one. Sonic Blade broken. That is literally God tier slate, okay? That is like the best one to use. Another one that I really like to use, but has a huge drawback, and, you know, most of them are like this, I'm not gonna lie, most of them are, is Ragnarok, where, you know, Sora just starts to fly in the air and then he shoots out like 20 laser beams. That one, if you're able to land it, it is really, really good. I mean, you can take a solid bar or 2 bars of life off of your opponent. So that one's really, really good. The only thing that sucks is that most of the time you probably won't even be able to use it, because you get hit before it's able to pull it off. And yes, that's another thing that is really cool, but also really sucks when it comes to some of the boss fights. You can use the bosses, or you yourself can either use a higher number slate than your opponent or yourself, and it'll cancel theirs out and it'll do yours. So that's actually why Vexen is such a nightmare, because he ends up doing that a lot. And then also he can just use a 0 card, and a 0 card basically cancels out any attack. It just cancels it out, it's done, and that's basically it. Now, one of my favorite slates to use is Mega Flare. Mega Flare is cracked. I mean, it is absolutely broken, especially when it comes to, you know, like, it really made the grinding part so much easier, because you can do Mega Flare, and unless the Heartless is immune or absorbs fire attack, you're decimating everything. And not only that, so let's say you get a huge row of like Heartless, because they come in waves. So you get the first wave and you kill all of them. It'll kill the second wave as they're spawning in. So, like, that is, when I tell you guys, this is a time saver. I know it sounds kind of crazy with me saying it after I just put in like 40 something hours, but it really truly is a time saver. And, you know, I ended up spending that much time because I was doing a ton of grinding, so don't judge me. Alright guys, that is pretty much most of the points that I had to this game. It is an awesome game and I absolutely loved it. And, you know, a lot of people do end up passing on this one just because, you know, basically it's like a discount Kingdom Hearts 1. It's like a not as fun version of Kingdom Hearts 1, depending on your perspective. But, you know, I do enjoy it. I did enjoy it. And I liked the story. I thought it was really unique, even though it was kind of annoying at times. But, you know, it introduced Axel, which Axel is like one of the coolest Organization 13 characters. I mean, he has a whole redemption arc in all of the Kingdom Hearts, or in most of them. So 1, 2, and 3, I believe. He really does. He's an awesome character, and he's one of my favorites. And he was just iconic since day one. Iconic. But yeah, this game is an awesome game, and I highly recommend you guys to play this. If you guys like grinding, you're gonna love this game. I'm telling you this. But yeah, if I had to rate it, honestly, I'd probably give it like a 7.5 or an 8. And yeah, I'm giving it such a high rating because there's a lot of replayability. Like, I am exhausted from Chain of Memories, so I won't be playing the second playthrough, but there's a second playthrough. You can play as Riku. So Riku steps into Castle Oblivion, and he goes in there, and he does this thing. I'm not going to talk about that because spoilers for some of you, but it's a great addition to the game, to the story, and it's its own actual story. It's not oh, you just play as Riku, but you do the same exact thing. It's its own story. So definitely check it out. Alright guys, that is the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I hope I surprised you with my glowing review of Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Oh, before I wrap it up, I will say this. I kind of prefer the Game Boy Advance version over the 3D version. I don't know, it's just nostalgia is speaking very loudly here, but I prefer the Game Boy Advance version. Let me know if you guys do too. And as always, do not forget to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel for more awesome content just like this. And we will see you guys on the next video. Peace! The Kingdom Hearts 2 video, it's probably not going to come out for a while. I'm not going to lie. I just started it, so like I'm kind of playing it, but I don't know, I'm a little exhausted when it comes to Kingdom Hearts at the moment. I feel like Kingdom Hearts 1 and Chain of Memories kind of took a little piece of my soul. I feel a little worn out, so I'm gonna play a couple of different things. Plus, this is perfect timing too, because I'm gonna be going to PAX West next week, so yeah. It's a nice little time to take a little break. Get my little 3DS on. Yeah. But I promise it'll be up soon-ish enough. Also, this is the second time I'm beating Kingdom Hearts 2 this year. So, yeah. But the game is so good though. Kingdom Hearts 2 is literally my favorite of the 3. It is literally the best game ever. So I have no problem with 100% beating this game again. Twice in 1 year. Who'd have thought?